Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. In life, when we are dealing with people, sometimes we get into arguments with them. Sometimes people may accuse us for so many mistakes, maybe the mistakes that have been done by ourselves and also for the mistakes that has done by others also. So, when we are in an argument, sometimes we may face those arguments in an unsuccessful way. If you face an argument in an unsuccessful way, you may hurt yourself as well as you may hurt the people who are complaining you. So today we are going to find out how to face an argument and how to deal with an argument when you're being accused. So today I need to share two useful tips that you need to practice in your life to win an argument without hurting others as well as without hurting yourself. This great advice was given by our great Arahant Sariputta. He was the chief disciple of our great teacher Supreme Buddha. So he was the great person who gave us this great advice. Our great Arahant Sariputta says, if you have been accused by someone, if you are in an argument, you need to practice these two tips. Number one, first of all, you got to be cool. You need to stay cool always. It means you should not be angry. Because whenever your mind is covered or controlled by anger, Supreme Buddha taught us, if you speak out of that anger, your words are evil. So the evil words may hurt yourself as well as to the others. And if you act out of anger, those actions will be also evil. So those actions will cause damage for others as well as for you. So first thing that you have to do when you have been accused is to be cool, to be patient. Right? Don't be panicked. Don't act out of anger. You need to control your emotions. If you can control your anger, you are a great person. Because many people in this world, they cannot control their anger. They just let the anger to pass out of them. They act in anger, they speak out of anger. Don't let that happen to yourself. Because anger is not something that you should be happy with yourself. Anger is a failure. Anger is a fault. And also remember, the people who are being angry always are weak. So you should control your emotions and you should stay cool whenever you are being accused. That is the first thing that you should do. And the second tip is you should always speak the truth. Now normally when we get into a trouble, when we are in an argument, when we are being accused by someone, normally people tend to speak lies, right? Because they like to escape from that problem by telling a lie. Remember, never ever lie in an argument. If something that has happened, if a mistake has happened by yourself, you need to say that I have done this. I admit this and I admit my fault and I will correct it. So you need to stay in the truth always, right? Never ever lie. Because sometimes if we lie in an argument, if we lie when we are being accused, We have to say 10 more lies to cover that, to protect that lie, to save that lie. If you tell the truth, right, you don't need to remember anything anymore, right? So if you speak the truth, you don't want to remember anything. Just you say the truth and let the things happen to yourself after telling the truth. Let it happen. Because bitter truth is better than sweet lies. So what you have to do, always speak the truth. Don't ever lie, right? So it will make a depression inside you, right? You need to remember everything that you said in that argument. So you need to speak this truth always. So these are the 2 tips to win an argument. Because if you speak truth, remember, the person who is accusing you may blame you, or you will get into a trouble in your life. But remember, after that argument, after that accusation, you will win the trust of that person. Because he may start to think, this person had the opportunity to tell a lie and escape from that problem, but he did not do that. And he will get that idea that you are a person who always speak the truth. So it is better to have the trust of the people around you. So what you have to do? You have to speak the truth. As well as, if you stay cool, people will like you very much, because no one likes to be with an angry person. No one likes to associate an aggressive person. Always people like to associate people who are very cool, people who are not getting angry very much. So what you have to do in your life, practice these 2 tips to win an argument. If you practice and if you master these 2 tips in your life, I am very sure that you can win many arguments, you can win many problems in your life when you are dealing with people, as well as you will win the trust of the people around you. Namo Buddhaya, Therwan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. So many people in this society may think that in order to live a happy life, always we should gather the things to ourselves. We should surround ourselves with comfortable things. And they may think that we should not give anything to anyone. Giving is a waste. That is how people think. And also people ask why we should give the things to others. Because others can also earn what they want. So why we should give? Well, today from this Inner Guide Q&A program, we are going to find why we should give and also what are the benefits of giving. So first of all, let's talk about why we should give, right? So giving is an act of kindness, right? Being generous is an act of kindness, right? If you have a kind heart, if you have a compassionate heart, you will tend to give more to people, right? Do you know the meaning of the compassion? Compassion means the feeling of sympathy or feeling of sad when someone is going through a hardship, right? If you have that compassionate heart, you will try to give more to this world, because world needs the humans' help. Humans need humans' help. So that is why Supreme Buddha taught us that you should give. Because if you give, when you are giving something to someone, now suppose you are giving food to a person who is very hungry, suffering with hunger, right? If you give that food to that person, he will feel comfortable, right? He will overcome his hunger and he will be happy maybe for one day. But when you give that food to that person, you will feel happy, right? You will feel a mental happiness within yourself. That happiness will last long until the end of your life. Whenever you remember that act of kindness that has done by yourself, you will feel very happy about yourself. You can be proud about yourself. That happiness cannot be bought for money. Remember. And also, giving is an act that the people with stronger mindsets, stronger personalities always do. The people who are with low qualities, bad qualities will not give, right? They are not generous. They are a bit stingy in their life, right? They always think, if I need to be happy, I need to gather the things. I need to surround myself with pleasurable things. I should not give. Giving is a waste. That is how they think. That is why we need to practice the generosity. If you need a happiness that lasts long forever, start giving. See the joy of giving. It is very joyful and it is very enjoyable. So it is how amazing that when you see a person who is overcoming his hunger, having the food that is given by you, and when he is smiling, you feel that mental happiness, right? That is one of the greatest happy moments that we'll have in your life. So that is why you need to give always. Be a generous person. Okay, then let's talk about that what are the benefits of giving. Supreme Buddha taught us there are 5 benefits of a generous person. There are 5 benefits that can be found to a generous person. Number 1, Supreme Buddha said, he will be agreeable and he will be a nice and pleasurable person to many people. Right? When you give something to someone, they will be happy. Right? If you are a donor, if you are a generous person, always when people see yourself, they become happy. They may think, oh, this person is very generous. He's a nice person. He's a kind person. So he will be agreeable to many people. That is the first benefit. Number 2, Supreme Buddha said, good people will surround him. He will get into the association of good people. Now, if you have that quality, the generosity within you, it is the nature of this world that same things, the people will with same qualities get together. Right? If you have the generosity, the people who are with the same mindset will surround you. It goes with another way. If you have the stinginess or if you have the evil thoughts within you, the people who are with evil thoughts will surround you. Evil friends will surround you. So if you are generous, always noble people, good people, the people with good generosity will surround you. You will get into association with good people. That is the second benefit. Third one, Supreme Buddha said he will acquire a good reputation in this world. Remember, people are not talking about your wealth. People doesn't talk about your wealth. Only people talk about how generous you were, how kind you are. That is what they talk about. So what you have to do, you need to give. You need to be generous. If you are being generous, you will acquire a good reputation in your life. The fourth benefit is, Supreme Buddha said, his life will be virtuous. You will acquire a good personality which is fault-free and which is free from the defilements, which is free from the evil things in your life. Because you are generating more compassionate thoughts towards others. You are generating more generous thoughts to others. So the more you generate these wholesome thoughts, the more you will have a good personality within you. So if you need to become a good person, if you need to become a virtuous person, if you need to have a confident personality, what you have to do? Be generous. Number 5, the final quality. Supreme Buddha said, by being generous, one acquires lots of merits. And as the result of those merits, Supreme Buddha said, he will have a good rebirth. Most of the people are not having a good rebirth in this world. So if you need to have a good rebirth, what you have to do is be generous, give to others. Giving is something that gives you the happiness. Gathering and holding on to the pleasurable things is something that makes you suffer. So start giving and see the joy of the giving and find the ultimate happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. If I ask a question from you that, can money buy happiness or not? So this is an intimidating question that many people in this society talk about. Some people say that you cannot buy happiness from money. And also some people say the money can buy happiness to you. Well, today from this Inner Guide Q&A program, we are going to find out whether the money can buy happiness or it cannot buy happiness. Let's find out. Money itself is a very powerful thing which prevails in this world. When it is used in a bad way, you will get the suffering out of it. Your whole life will be left in the suffering. And when it is used in the normal way, common way, you can buy the comfort out of that. And also, when you use the money in a correct way, you can buy the happiness to yourself. So, how to deal with this money? Remember, people use money for so many evil things. Remember, the final result of all those evil things is the suffering. That is well known. And also, people use the money in the common way. That means to buy the things that they want, the pleasurable things. Right? When they buy the pleasurable things like luxurious cars, vehicles, like clothes, and luxurious apartments, they may think that this is the happiness. No, that is not the happiness. That is the pleasure and the comfort. Remember, there is a distinct difference between the happiness and the comfort. The comfort is something impermanent, right? Once you eat a delicious food, after that it is gone, it is impermanent, right? Once you are riding on a luxurious car, after the faults may come out of that car, that pleasure is gone, it is impermanent, right? So all the pleasurable things, all the materialistic things that we find in this world gives us the pleasure, but remember, they are impermanent. When they are being impermanent, what will happen at the end of that pleasurable thing? You will find the suffering, right? Your mind is not content with that. You are not being happy by seeing that impermanence. So what is the final result of the pleasure? It is the suffering. And also there's a way that we can use money to have the happiness to our life. So how to do that? Now when we take, if you buy something with your money and if you give that special thing to someone who need that. So suppose that you bought some foods from the market and you gave that food to a person who is suffering from hunger. You bought some ornaments or some goods from the market and you gave to the needy people. what is the feeling that you have inside yourself? You feel happy, right? That means that happiness will last long forever. And also, by that act of kindness, with that act of generosity, you will gain many merits to your life, right? That sweet memory, that happiness will leave you a sweet memory, happy time in your life. At the end of your life, when you reflect the journey of your life, if you find so many instances that you use this money in this correct way to be generous, to be kind to people, to help people, that will give you the happiness. So when money is used in the correct way, you can also have the happiness. But remember, don't misunderstand between the pleasure and the happiness. All the materialistic things, all the comfortable things that we use in our life gives us pleasure, and that is not happiness, because they are impermanent. When they are being impermanent, when they become changed, we suffer. But if you use your money to be generous, right? If you use your money to do good things in this world, to help people, to motivate people, to inspire people, right? To lift up people when they have fallen down, that will give you the best happy moments in your life. So don't misunderstand that money cannot buy happiness or money can buy happiness. It can buy a happiness, but if you use that money in a correct way only. So use your money in a correct way and find the happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. This is a special inner guide video that is dedicated to the little daughter who had asked a question from us. She had mentioned in her comment that she has a big problem with laziness, and also her exams are near, so she is in a big stress. And also, she said that she no longer finds a value in her life. I think most of us have these kind of questions. Okay, let's start with the first question. She had said that she has a big problem with laziness and sleepiness. I know that getting up early in the morning and sitting for studying and doing the studies is a little bit of a hard thing to do when you are a student, especially. First of all, let me introduce you to the inspiring words of the Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha said, Sukharani asadhuni attano ahitani cha. It is very easy to do evil things, the things that brings the unhappiness or the suffering or the regret to our life. Supreme Buddha said, Yangve hitangcha sadhungcha tangve paramadukkaram. If there is something that brings us the happiness to our life, if there is something that makes us proud about ourselves, doing such things is a really, really hard thing. So, getting up early in the morning and sitting for studies is a hard thing to do. Why? Because if you do that, it brings the happiness to your life. Right? Studying, educating yourself brings the happiness to your life. So, most of the people, they find hard to get up early in the morning. Now, we all like that fluffy and comfy and warm feeling that we feel on the bed in the morning. So, when you open your eyes in the morning, your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes. And that's the point that you are making the mistake. Your mind, you listen to your mind, you listen to what your mind says. When your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes more, it's okay, it's not a problem, that is where you make the mistake. And that 5 minutes will last long for another hour. And when you get up after an hour, your mind, the same mind that told you to stay on the bed for 5 minutes, will complain you are not studying. It will say that you are going to fail the exams. That is how our mind lies us. That is how our mind tricks us. So when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes in the morning, right? When your mind says to stay on the bed for another 5 more minutes, do not listen to that. Do not listen to that lie. Get up and refresh yourself and start studying early in the morning. There's a great quote that I remember all times when, even in my life, when I'm going through hard times, I remember this quote. It says, it is a wonderful quote. It says, if you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. Let me repeat that again. If you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. But if you do what is hard today, your life will be easy tomorrow. So getting up early in the morning is a hard thing. But if you do that hard thing, remember, your life will be easy. But if you stay on the bed for another 5 minutes, doing what is easy, your life will be hard tomorrow. So get up early in the morning. Do you know how long you're going to feel the hardship of getting up early in the morning? Do you know for how many days that you are going to find very hard to get up in the morning? Only for 3 weeks. If you get up early in the morning and start studying in the morning for 3 weeks, remember, only for 3 weeks, it will make a habit to your life. And after that 3 weeks, you will never find it hard. It will become a habit. You don't want to think about it again and again. It will become a day-to-day practice. So do that, although you feel hard, for 3 weeks and see the result. That is the answer for first question. And let's go for the second question. She had mentioned that her exams are near, so she's stressed and she's unfocused. Her mind is clumsy. So what is the answer for this? Remember, now when the exams are near, it is the normal nature that we feel frustrated, distracted, unfocused, and clumsy. That is the normal nature, right? So I need you to do one thing. This is a special thing to do when the exams are near, right? Focus on one thing at a time to study, right? Focus on a single thing at a time to study. Study for 20 minutes, right? When you're studying, just forget all the other things that you have to study. Now, normally when we start to study, we find that there are so many things that we have to study in a short time. Now, the more you remember these things, the more your mind will regret. The more your mind will start to become clumsy. So I need you to do this thing. When you're studying, just forget about all the other things that you have to study. Just think, now I have to study only this thing. There's nothing that I have to study more. Just focus on that and study for maybe 20 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. This is called the Pomodoro technique. I think it is well known. So study for 20 minutes, well focused, and give yourself a little bit of a break for 5 minutes and start studying again. And focus on the special points in your studies. right? And now, when the exams are near, if you haven't studied, right? So I know you're regretting in your mind. So if you didn't make through the exam, I'm using the word if, right? If you did not make through your exams, I need you to do this thing. What is that? Never, ever give up studying. At some point in our life, we will lose our balance and we will fall down. We will go through hard situations, right? We will fall down in our life, but get back up and try again. You will fall for the first time. You will fall for the second time. You will fall for the fourth time, fifth time. Though you fall for the 1 millionth time, what you have to do is get back up and try again. As humans, we should never give up in our studies and in our success. So, if you did not make through the exams, do not quit your studies. Do not quit your education. Right? Get back up and try again, and one day, you will find that you have been success. And let's go for the third question. She said that she no longer finds a value in her life. Remember, as humans, we are born to this world to add a value to our life. When we come to this world, we brought nothing. We had nothing. We knew nothing. But as humans, we have to add a value to this life. Right? Study well, start loving others, start loving your parents. And if you cannot study for yourself, right? If you cannot work for yourself, work for the people who loves you. There are so many people around you who loves you, who have dedicated their life on behalf of yourself, right? They are your parents. Try to bring a smile to your parents' face saying, "Mom, Dad, I made it." One day you should do this. So if you did not give up, you will be success one day. But if you quit, if you give up your education, if you give up in your goals, it is very sure you will fail. Therefore, never give up. Work for yourself as well as work for the people who love you most. Right? Bring a smile to their face. Right? The only thing that you have to do in your position as a child, as a student, is to study only. You don't want to earn money. You don't want to look after the babies. There's nothing to do. Only thing that you have to do is to study. Do that, but never give up. That is what I have to share in this special video. So I wish that daughter and all of you have the same questions in your life. May you be well and happy. May you live long. May you live a happy life. And may all of your dreams come true. And may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine if you kept a pot, a clay pot or a vessel under a dripping tap, what will happen to that vessel? The tiny droplets that is fallen from that tap will collected into that vessel, and with the time that vessel will be filled. But if you take the tiny drop of water, the little droplet of water, that cannot make any impact on the volume of that vessel. When we consider with the vessel, the volume of that vessel, the tiny droplet of water is nothing. But these tiny droplets of water is kept on falling into that vessel again and again continuously. With the time, that will make an impact, that will make a huge impact to the volume of the vessel. With the time, the vessel will be filled with water, and there will be a time that vessel will be overflowing with water. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha took this simile to explain a wonderful thing to our lives. Supreme Buddha taught, do not think lightly about the merits. Do not think lightly about the little good things, wholesome things that you do in your life, saying it will be not come to my life as a result. Normally, we don't give much consideration about the little things, little good things that we do in our life. Now, the nature of this life is always it's in this life, the little things matters. The little things, the little and subtle things that we do in our life will make a huge impact to all of our lives. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught that do not think lightly about your merits, that it will not come to my life as a result. Supreme Buddha said, drop by drop, the water pot is filled. Same like that, the wise person who is diligent in collecting merits, he collects the merits little by little, and one day his life will be filled with merits. So you have to give a big concern to the little good things, little wholesome deeds, little merits that you do in your day, because they are the good things that you do daily. Normally, people do good things in their life, but they do not do it continuously. But there are some good deeds, wholesome deeds that you do as a daily basis, as a daily routine. So you have to give a big concern to them. You have to give a big attention to them, and you need to motivate yourself to do those little merits daily. Now, when we take about the little merits, it's like speaking kindly to someone. It's a little merit. Saving a little animal's life, it's a little merit. People don't think much about those merits. People don't think much about those good deeds, right? They don't think that the results of those actions will come to their life. But remember, in the law of karma, it says, what you do will always give you a result, right? Everything that you do with your body, with your mind, with your words will give you a result. That is the law of action, the law of karma. So the little things that you do every day, little good things, right, wholesome things, will give you a good result. So if you keep on doing these little good things every day, your life will be filled with merits. So that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us to not to think about your merits lightly. In life, always little things matters. Same goes with the demerits. Supreme Buddha said, do not think lightly about the demerits. So there are so many evil things, little things that we do in our day, but we don't give a much concern to those little evil things, little bad things. Remember, those little bad things will get together, it will adds up into your life, and it will make your life evil. So do not think lightly about the merits as well as the demerits, because those things will matter the most in our life. So do not let your demerits to take control of your life. Always you should increase the amount of merits, right? So give a big concern to the little things that you do in your life, right? like speaking to someone kindly, saving animals' lives, right? Giving some donation to someone. Those things matters in our life. So collect many merits to your life every day. Do something that adds value to your life, and your life will be filled with merits one day. Namo Buddhaya. Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Normally, in society, people say that you need money to do merits. You need money to do good deeds and wholesome deeds. But they are wrong. There are more and many good deeds that you can do without money. Of course, you need money to do some merits. But more than that, there are so many merits that you can do without using the money. So today I'm going to share with you one merit that you can collect daily, maybe 2 times a day, without much effort, and also, moreover, without using your money. So normally, you eat at least 2 times a day. You have 2 meals a day at least. Some people may eat for 3 times, but surely most of you eat 2 times a day. So have you ever wondered that you can collect a merit soon after you are finished with your meal? Okay, today I'm going to teach you how to do a merit after eating and when you are going to wash your plate, when you are going to wash your dish. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, if you can throw the water that is used to wash your dish, thinking, may this water with these food particles be a food for a little animal. If you can think that thought, that will generate a merit to your life. So how to do it? So after you are having your meal, when you wash your dishes, you wash them with water. So that water is consist of water as well as the tiny food particles. So when you throw them to the sink or to the ground, these tiny food particles will be eaten by tiny animals, maybe like ants, flies, and so many little animals. So Supreme Buddha taught us, if you can throw this water by thinking, may these food particles be a food for tiny little animals like ants, then that will generate a merit to your life. So whenever you are having your meal, after having your meal, then you can wash the dish and throw this water to the ground by thinking this thought. If you can think that, that will be a merit to your life. So this merit is very little. It is a very little one. Supreme Buddha taught us that you should not think lightly about your merits. Normally we don't give a big concern to the water that we use to wash the dishes. So if you can do that, if you can generate that merit, that will be add to your merit account in your life. Right? The more you do this, every day, the merits will be collected to your life. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, do not think lightly about your merits, thinking that it will not come to me as a result. Supreme Buddha said, little by little, the water pot is filled. Same like that, the wise person will collect merits daily, and one day his life will be filled with merits. So this is the merit that you can do at least 2 times a day, right? So it is very easy. It does not cost any money. It does not cost any effort. All you need is that mindset of collecting merits. You need to have a motivation inside yourself to do good things in your life. Because all the pleasurable things, all the materialistic things that we have around us, will remain as nothing at the end of our life, but only the regret, right? But if you give something to someone, if you did something good in your life, if you collected something that adds value to your life, that will give you the happiness. That happiness cannot be bought from money, with money. So you, all by yourself, you should collect these merits, have a good mindset of collecting merits, and you should think that I should be diligent in collecting these types of merits. So that is the little and subtle and wonderful and very easy merit that you can do in your day. That is the thing that I need to share with you today. So do this merit every day. One day your life will be filled with merits. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. One day, a young man called Subha came up to our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, and he asked a question from the Buddha. Subha asked, "Oh, Venerable Sir, I see a huge difference in this humankind. Some are long-lived, some are short-lived, some are very beautiful, some are not that beautiful, and some people are very wealthy, while some people are very poor." So this Subha asked, "Venerable Sir, what is the reason for this difference?" Then our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, explained, "Young man, all the beings are owners of their actions. All the beings hire to their actions, the karma. In Buddhism, we call the action is known as the karma. So all the beings are owners of their karma, as well as all the beings are higher to their karma." Supreme Buddha said, "The karma is their relative. Karma determines their rebirth, and karma is the factor that divides the beings into low and great." So, you see a big difference between these humans, right? Some are very poor, some are very wealthy, some are very beautiful, some are very ugly, and some are long-lived, some are short-lived. This difference is made with our own actions. So you may find the people or the beings or humans who are short-lived. They may die in maybe in their childhood. Some children, some babies may die in their mother's womb. Some children may die in their early childhood. So the reason for this short life, is Supreme Buddha said, if someone kills animals, if someone takes the animal's life away, and if someone becomes rude to animals, as a result of that action, those beings who committed such actions will be reborn in hell, in a bad destination in the next life. If that person did not reborn in a bad destination, as a result, he was reborn again in this human world. Supreme Buddha said, he is short-lived. He will have a shorter lifespan. So the reason behind this shorter lifespan is committing the killing beings, committing the action of killing beings. So if we kill animals, remember, our lifespan will be shortened. So we need to give a big concern to not to kill animals. Now normally, you don't kill animals, you don't kill big animals, right? Normally people don't kill them. But what about little mosquitoes? Do you kill them? Do you kill mosquitoes? Normally most of the people, they kill mosquitoes. And what about little ants that will bother you in your households? People kill ants also. Remember, mosquitoes, ants have the same life as ours. They deserve to live in this world same as us. So if we kill animals, remember that bad deed, that evil deed will give a result of shorter lifespan. And in the other way, Supreme Buddha said, if someone become kind to animals, if someone saves the animals' lives, he will have a longer lifespan as a result of that action. So if you need to live long, if you need to have a long lifespan, what you have to do is save the animals' lives. Be kind to animals around you. Never hurt them. Right? When you see little ants floating on water, right? You need to save them. When mosquitoes bite you, do not kill them. Right? Now, same as you, now you don't like to go to the death, or you don't like to be dead while crushing to something, right? If you were to die, if you were to find the death by crushing to something or some machine, what will happen? Is that a good death? No, you don't find happy in that, right? So same feeling goes with these mosquitoes. If you crush them, same feeling will give to them. So what you have to do not kill mosquitoes. Do not kill ants. They deserve to live same as us. They have a life same as us. They love their life same as us. So what you have to do? Save the animal's life, right? Be a lifesaver. If you save the animal's life, you will have the opportunity to live long in this world. So that is the secret behind a longer lifespan. So be kind to animals. Don't be rude to animals. Never ever kill animals, and always be a lifesaver. If you do that, you will have a longer lifespan. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide program. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 great advices that our great teacher Supreme Buddha gave us in order to have a peaceful life forever. And also, if we follow these 3 instructions, Supreme Buddha told that you will have your rebirth in heaven. So what are these 3 instructions? Number 1, Supreme Buddha said, always speak the truth. If someone speaks the truth in his life, Supreme Buddha said, he can live a peaceful life. Now, telling lies is an easy thing to do. It's very easy. When you are in a problem, when you are in a difficult situation, you can tell a lie and just escape from that problem. But remember, you are not escaping from that bad karma, bad action. You cannot escape from those results of those bad actions. So telling lies is a thing that we should not do in our life. Whatever difficult situation comes up in our lives, whatever disadvantage that you get from telling the truth, you have to say that, because bitter truth is better than sweet lies. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us to always speak the truth. That is the first advice. If we follow that advice, we will have our rebirth in heaven and we can live our life happily. Number 2, Supreme Buddha said, do not get angry. It is easy to get angry with someone. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha said, Sukharani asadhuni attano ahitanicha. It is very easy to do evil things which brings the unhappiness and suffering to us as well as to the others. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha said, you should always do what is good. Remember, doing good things is very hard. Being patient and not getting anger into your mind is very hard. We have to admit that. Though it is very hard, remember, if we did not do it, one day we will have to suffer because of our evil deeds. So maintain your inner peace by being not angry with anyone. Now, in this situation, you may not be angry with anyone. But when a problem comes up in your life, it is very hard to maintain your patience. It is very hard to maintain your kindness. It is very hard to maintain your compassion. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us to practice love and kindness and do not be angry with anyone. If you maintain a peaceful mind without the anger, then you can be happy with your life. And also, Supreme Buddha advised us, and Supreme Buddha told us that the person who is not getting angry with anyone, the person who spreads his loving kindness to everyone, will reborn in heaven. So if you need a good rebirth, what you have to do not be angry. Number 3, the final advice. Supreme Buddha said, you have to give even if you have little. Now, if you have $1,000 and if you were to spend $1, it is very easy. But what will happen if you have $1 with you and you were to spend that dollar for someone? You were to donate that dollar for someone. Can you do that? It is very hard. But if someone becomes generous, even if he has little with him, Supreme Buddha said, that is the most worthiest gift. That is the maximum of being generous. That is the maximum point of generosity. That means to give even when we have little with us. Because if we were to give when we have a little, we are struggling with our ego in our mind. We are struggling with our craving in our mind. Because people do like very much for money and the things they are around us. They don't like to give them. They feel very hard to be generous. But if a person can live, if you can live with generosity, if you can give and donate and give alms to people, even when you have little, then you are being generous and you practice the generosity which brings the happiness to your life forever. And also, Supreme Buddha said, the generous person can have his rebirth in heaven. So, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, advised us, you should practice these 3 tips or 3 instructions that was given by our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. If you practice these 3 advices, you will have a wonderful and peaceful life in this life as well as in the other. So practice this and may you have a wonderful and peaceful life in this world. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine a situation that you have been accused for a mistake that you haven't done. So when someone scolds you or when someone complains you about a mistake that you haven't done, Can you maintain your inner peace at that moment? Can you be kind to that person at that moment? Most of us loses our temper and we start to prove ourselves that we are not wrong and you are the person who has gone wrong. So is it okay to do such things in such situations? Is it okay to always to prove that we are right in such situations? No. In some situations, we have to stay silent, we have to stay kind, and we have to maintain our inner peace without getting frustrated. So how to stay calm and peaceful within such adversive situations? Here's how to do it. In Dhamma, it says, if you stay like water, if you had a mind like water, you will have the opportunity to stay calm during such adversive environments. So how to stay like water? In Supreme Buddha's Dhamma, it describes about the water. The nature of the water is it can accept every negative thing. Now people use water for cleaning purposes. They wash their hands, they wash blood, pus, urine, and so many disgusting things. But yet, water does not complain. It does not blame. It does not become angry. It always maintains its peacefulness and it is always cool. So what you have to do in such situations, in such adversive situations, you have to stay like water. You have to say to yourself that I must stay like water and I'm not going to say anything and I'm not going to prove that I am right. So always maintain your inner peace. Don't let anyone to distract that. Don't let anyone to control your emotions and make you sad. Because if you make your mentality and spirituality distracted, that disadvantage is yours. If you maintain your inner peace in such adversive situations, that advantage is also yours. So what you have to do? You have to stay like water. Accept and absorb every negative things that comes from outer world. It may be criticism, it may be blames, scoldings, whatever the things they are, you have to absorb them and you have to emit another good thing to this world. You can be kind to them. You can stay silent and you can be patient. The more you develop these divine qualities, you can live happily in your life. You can have a heart that is without the anger and resentment. When your heart is escaped from anger and resentment, you can live freely and you can sleep better. So what you have to do? Stay like water. Be like water. The more you be like water, the more your life will be cooled. So I wish you all, may all of you have the opportunity to be like water and find the ultimate happiness in this world. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. The words that we speak have a great power. Remember, words can make people as well as the words can break people. Therefore, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, advised us to speak always the nice words. Supreme Buddha advised us, you should not speak harsh words. Supreme Buddha said, Mavocha parusang kanchi. Do not speak harsh words. Why? Vutta pativadeyutam. If you speak harsh words, you will be spoken harshly by someone one day as a result of that action. That is the law of karma. Supreme Buddha said, Dukkahi sarambhakatha. The harsh speech, rude words, angry words is a suffering for everyone. Patidanda puseyutam. If you speak harsh words, you will be spoken harshly one day. That is the result of those actions. So that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us to always speak nice and gentle words. Because no one in this world would like to be spoken by anyone harshly. No one likes to listen angry words. No one likes to be scolded by someone. Sometimes in life, we may think to solve the problems, to deal with arguments, we need to be angry. We need to be stubborn. We need to speak harsh words and we need to hurt others in order to control others. But that is wrong. Remember, our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us the best way to control the people, best way to win the hearts of the people, win the trust of the people, the best way to deal with the arguments is to use the kind words. The perfect example for controlling people with kindness is our great teacher Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha never used harsh words, angry words to control people, to tame people. Supreme Buddha used the kindness, compassion, loving and pleasurable words to speak with people. That is why millions and millions of people loved the Supreme Buddha in the Buddha's time. They loved to listen to the Supreme Buddha's words. They trusted the Supreme Buddha's words because it was very nice. It was kind. It was gentle and it was healing like cool water. So, when we are dealing with our life problems, when we are dealing with people who are very toxic, when we are dealing with arguments, remember, you should watch what you are speaking. You should give a big concern about the words that you speak. Because words are like a weapon. It's like a knife. Now, when we take the knife, we can use the knife in order to do something good as a useful thing. Right? We can use the knife to cut vegetables and cut useful things. And also, knife can be used to kill a person. So words are like that. Words can heal the broken hearts of the people, as well as words can break the hearts of people. Sometimes words can lead someone's life to the death. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, never speak harsh words, rude words, angry words. If you speak angry words, what is the result? You will be spoken angrily and you will get hurt by the same words one day by someone else. So as the result of that action, according to the law of that karma, you're going to go through a hard time one day. So remember, when you speak the words, you have to think about what you are speaking. Supreme Buddha advised us that you should not speak all the things, all the thoughts that comes to your mind. Normally, people don't think about the thoughts that pop up in their mind, right? Supreme Buddha advised us that when a thought arises in your mind, you have to consider that about that thought, whether this thought is good or bad. Whether this thought is going to hurt someone else, or is this thought is going to hurt myself. So if it is an evil thought, Supreme Buddha said, you should abandon that. You should not act upon that thought. You should not speak with those thoughts. That is why Supreme Buddha said, Manasache paduttena bhasativa karotiva. If with an impure mind, if one acts or speaks, Supreme Buddha said, Tato nang dukkhamang veti chakkang vavahato padang. The suffering will surely follow him like the cart wheel that follows the ox. So, dear devotees, you need to think twice before you speak. You need to give a big concern to what you speak. When you're speaking a word, always let those words to go through these 3 filters. Now, normally, people use filters to filter out the bad things from something good. So you need to flow your words through these 3 filters before you speak. So what are those 3 filters? Remember, before you speak any words, always think, is this word is a lie or a true? So when you think that, you can stop lying. So that is the first filter. And the second filter is, before you speak anything, always think, are these words are going to hurt anyone? Then you can stop the rude words that you are speaking. And the third filter is, always think, are these words are useful or not? Then you can stop the useless words that you are speaking with your mouth. So let your words to flow through these 3 filters. Then your words will be pure, right? If you speak gentle and nice and true words, everyone will like you. Everyone will like to be with you because everyone likes to listen to nice words. Everyone likes to be with people who speak nicely. So always speak gentle and nice words. Never speak harsh words to anyone. Remember, words can make people and words can break people. Namo Buddhaya, Therwan Saranai.